What's up, people?
What up?
How y'all feeling?
Good.
All right.
No talking.
Yeah.
Just keep playing.
Ron said a lot of what's necessary. Really, Ron said a lot of what's necessary as far as communication, professionalism. What else? Knowing how to be quick on your feet, I think was one thing I wanted to add to what he said. A lot of times we're called in situations where we don't quite know what's going on. But that's the reason why they called us. Because they know we can help pull through. As far as not knowing what's happening. You know what I mean? But still having enough theory, enough intuition to see what's going on, feel the music, and know how to follow it. You know? Any questions?
Give them travel etiquette.
Travel etiquette.
Yes.
Read your emails.
Yes, sir. Preaching.
Read your emails, check them check them on the regular, because sometimes you get lobby call at 3 saying you need to be down there at 5. And you gotta be there or you stuck in the Netherlands.
Right.
And who's from the Netherlands in here?
Exactly.
You are. Well, you've been on everybody else? Long distance email, saving up. What's up, Greg?
What's the importance of being on time?
The importance of being on time is, one, saving your seat.
Hello.
Because you will quickly be replaced. I know Ricky Monitor, blessed to have a conversation with him. He always has backup for everyone he calls.
Man.
Just in case someone misses being on time. You know, he already has the replacement. The one guy that gets there early and leaves last. And he's always the leader. What's up, Z?
How do you become a studio drummer?
Ooh, practicing to a click. Learning how to feel the time in between each downbeat and backbeat. Practicing to a record. What's up? You got all the good? Come on. What's up? What's up?
How do you continue learning how to play with the clicks?
Continuing to practice to it. Knowing that there's always room for growth. No one's perfect. That's why you strive for it.
How do you stay unique?
Jeremy! I would say the one thing I like to do is listen to everybody. Listen to everybody and practice doing what you like from that person and then flipping it as many ways as possible. So one thing like Jerron, Pookie, Bam, all those guys, sit me down, this is a new chop, just figured it out. Then before they left, I had to know the chop and flip it at least twice. You know what I mean? To then claim my own routine to the pattern. What's up?
Why do drummers get along better than any other musician?
Oh, I mean, because
We got it the hardest.
we understand foundation.
We got it the hardest.
We understand
Drummers gotta work the
foundation.
hardest.
That's not
We understand foundation. We understand time. Everybody being in sync. Everybody being on one accord and keeping the whole movement together.
Right.
What's up?
I was just wondering, when you play with Snoop, do you play what was on the record, or do you try to do your own thing?
Yeah, well, he has free reign on his records. He wants you to keep the groove, make sure that everybody's dancing. That's the most important thing as a drummer. Keep them dancing. You know, I had a gig one time when I was so nervous because I didn't know none of the material. And I'm just like, yo, he hit me today, sent me like all these songs. And so I'm looking at him, I'm like, yo, it's the right tempo, asking all these questions. And he just turned around and like looked at the people like, just keep them dancing. Like, we're good. Don't worry about what you're doing if no one else knows.
Yeah.
As far as if it's not seeming to matter or throw anything off, go for it. You know, but it's also important to know the record though, so you can know how to sit in.
Cool.
Good stuff.
Anything, anybody. What's up? What's up?
Curious question. I know growing up, it was hard for you to kind of like venture off to learn different music because I know you had strict parents. How difficult was it, and how did you manage, other than sneaking, how did you manage to...
Well, the beautiful thing was school. You didn't have to sneak in school. When they told you we want your son in our jazz band, they had nothing they could say. Yeah. They knew this was a beautiful opportunity. Y'all talking about Brazil? I know he's 14. Y'all talking about Brazil? He needs a passport? That's an opportunity. Son, be grateful, be responsible, be mature, but go handle your business. You know what I mean? Go have fun. You know, so it was a little, as far as like, but you know, I did have family members too. Like my cousin Brody, his mom, Frank Sinatra, Diana Krall, she would just play him like, you need to know these people. I know what's good, but you need to know these people. You know what I mean? So it was just a melting pot, you know, as far as everybody I was connected to, knowing how to give the right information at the right time. You know?
So you play with a whole lot of artists.
Okay, enough, not a whole lot.
You play with different types of artists.
Okay.
So what gates work for what genres? Like, can you do the same type of gate you're gonna do on Sunday that you would do with Snoop, or that you would do with like a pop record?
Unless he turn around and say, Slick Nick, give him some, you playing the record, you making sure you complimenting the DJ, you making sure you complimenting, because first of all, rap is a lot of words going on in that verse, and the crowd don't even really know what he's saying. But when they get to that hook, they know, right? So you keep that in mind, you make it interesting, but you also keep it simple enough for people to never lose sight of what's going on. Now, if it's church, and we having fun, and you know the gate is clear, you open the gate, the floodgate, you feel me? And you let the Lord use you. What's up, Greg?
How important is it for the drummer and bass player to connect?
Oh my God! It's too important. Like it's too important. Like words can't even explain. Like it's necessary because I'll say it like this. There was a few times on the Snoop tour where Daz is DJing, and the instant replay just flip out. Like, no, the record it just jumping songs. And so, me and Mike, me and Ron and Vaughn, Superfly, we can't stop because the instant replay stopped. You know what I mean? So it's important for the chemistry to be there to understand, yo, okay, we got to carry this entire load. Now let's just jump into our complete us, feel the record, and understand how to keep the train moving. But it's so necessary. Like, this is one of my favorite bass players to play with. Yeah, because now, and that goes back to what Ron said about learning multiple instruments. When you can play multiple instruments, you know how to talk to everybody. Right. You know when the keyboard player is doing something, okay, that's not your time to be on the 4 toms. Tinkle a little bit, add a little accessory to what's going on. If the bass player going on, that's 4-tom and kick because that's bottom, that's low end. You gotta just know how to talk to everybody. But him right here, he play these.
Yes.
So the gaps he take on bass is counter to what drums would be.
Yeah.
And so when the drummer knows and understands bass, it's counter to what bass will be. So then you sometimes end up doing the same thing at the same time.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And that's one of the coolest things.
Yes.
You know, so I think it's definitely important. And it's important for bass and drums, but it's even better when everybody's on the same page. Yeah. And then one of the biggest things I learned is that most of your growth comes away from your instrument.
Yes.
Wow.
Most of your growth comes away from your instrument. Like, we did a session in Oakland. Me, him, Mike Burrell, Nelson, Dave Jackson. Had a week, not even a week, half a week to learn how many songs? 12? 14 songs. You know when we did the most of our gelling was Jack in the Box in the morning. By the time we got to the music, because we knew and spent so much time realizing that everybody had a like mind, it was so much easier to get the job done.
Right.
You know what I mean? And a lot of the growth too, I can say honestly, on drums came from listening and watching. Nowadays, I'm gonna be honest with you, practicing happens on the Soul Tone videos. Literally. That's why I'm making it an effort to do it more often. You know what I'm saying? And so when I'll be up here, you know what I'm saying? After you spend hours getting your hands balanced, like that was one thing I used to do. Take the smallest stick you got, 8/8, go get your marching band stick with your weak hand. All right? You play one pattern with your strong hand, you make your weak hand play the same pattern with a heavier stick. Until when you flip it, it's just as balanced and it's just as strong. You know what I mean? I'll be honest, another question I get is rudiments. Out of all the 50 million rudiments, I play like 6. I'll be honest with you. Singles, doubles, triplets every now and then, flamadiddles, flam taps, and inverted paradiddles. Paradiddles are whack to me. I'm sorry. Inverted paradiddles allow you to experiment over the kick. Because it brings in a texture of ghost notes, and then it allows taste as you experiment on everything you got in front of you. Any other questions?
before you ask any questions, it is 10:17. We have this room till 11 tonight.
Okay.
So if we have maybe one or two more, I don't want to short him at all. At the same time, I want to be constant. In fact, I don't even know how he's breathing right now.
Yeah, man.
That's what you're saying, man. So does anybody have any, because I have one ultimate question, but does anybody else have any questions? Anybody? Yes, sir.
How many hours are you practicing right now, bro?
You said how many hours? All day. Figures out somehow to practice. You don't have to be sitting behind your instrument to practice. You pull out your phone and you record a video or a voice memo. Then when you get to your instrument or whatever it is, you exercise your talents and your gifts to what you have already planned and practicing it in. So every day and all day should you be practicing. It's okay?
Yes, sir. All right. Let me see this real quick. The question I have for you is, where do you see yourself? Even after tonight, where do you see yourself as a musician? Because the other thing about Nick is he's a phenomenal producer.
Yes.
So he's off the chain with and as well as Ron. Both of these guys literally have phenomenal gifts when it comes to production. So I call it cheating. But where do you see yourself? Even after this, after all of the accolades and everything, where do you see yourself?
To be honest with you, the only real answer I can give to where I see myself is being far past where I am today. Only because every day I'm blessed to see. I thank God for it, and I try to maximize it. So wherever I can end up tomorrow is however far I can go, I'm trying to go. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I just want everyone to not only know, but appreciate everything God has given Nick Smith. That's it.
Thank you.
Every gift that's up here tonight came with a price. So don't think for 1 second. Did you have a question? I'm sorry. She calling you, but do you have a website? Hurry up.
Thank you, baby. I have a website, NickSmithGlobal.com. It is up, it's running. What we do is we keep all the latest information about Nick Smith on there. So videos, whatever tours is coming up, and the album for all those that play and want to share it and want things to practice through all the videos I've done on YouTube. You can go now and purchase those songs. So Cosmic, Nick Smith, iTunes. What's up with it?
Give them some advice on how it is to, how important it is to brand yourself as a musician if you're seriously gonna take it serious.
Well, truth be told, sorry that the camera has to see this, but artists treat musicians like janitors.
Right. Yep.
And we got the talent that's on stage. We got the talent that's on stage, all right? So what you have to understand is the difference between being someone's drummer, bass player, guitar player, piano player, versus whatever name God gave you, okay? For whatever you have to offer. It's important to brand yourself so people can know everything that comes with your name.
Absolutely.
So, and I just thank God that it has finally clicked. For a minute, I would just kick back and just be like, I'm gonna just be grateful for whatever comes my way. And you realize, everybody else got to go get what's for them, so I might need to do the same thing. And then stuff starts to turn around and be what you need it to be because you believed in yourself.
You got more to claim.
You know what I mean? You believed in yourself. You knew that God had things for you to claim and you went for it.
Yeah.
So branding is very important so we can all be clear on who we are as far as when we're in different arenas and atmospheres.
Nick, we got one more question.
Exactly, 2 questions.
What's up, Toussaint?
Do you read, and how important is it to read?
Oh my gosh, how important is it to read? That separates you from having to rehearse for weeks, months at a time, versus showing up.
Walk-in money.
The day is going on.
Walk-in money.
Being able to sight read was cracking. You know what I mean? Maybe a couple hours before, and they brand you up for knowing how to read. And I'm so grateful that my mom made me understand that. Like 6th grade is when I got the opportunity to learn. And it's funny because to get in the band, to get in the band at school, I had to act like I wanted to play the alto sax. I'm like, nah, I know it's a lot of drummers, but that's what I really do. Like, I don't know nothing else right now. Like, I really play drums. We have too many drummers. I'm like, all right, what you got available? Alto sax. I'm like, all right. First I'm like, nah, but I'm like, man, I gotta be in band. So I pick up the alto sax, I learn a couple gospel songs, give thanks, you feel me, in my living room practicing, bothering the whole family. But they knew, like, he just loved music. You know, so then I played it smart one day. I stayed after class and lunchtime. I was like, you know, I asked her, you mind if I set up the drum set? She's like, sure, go ahead. Yeah, like, oh. Set them drums up. I ain't even show up. Just enough to let her know, like, look, this is what I really do. I am not playing. Okay. After I was done, so, how would you like to be the drummer of the band? I said, thank you. Oh, I don't know how to read. That's perfectly fine. And so then, it's funny too, for those that learn how to read or play by ear first, learning how to read is actually easier for us because we done learned how to do the things we just haven't seen yet. Then when they show it to you, like, you know, dang, that's deep. Man, that's a 16, no, that's what that looks like. We do that with one hand. You know what I mean? But that's the whole pattern. Right. You're like, okay, but then that's when you start understanding dynamics and accents and, you know, all the rolls and the buzzes and all that. But it carries over to your, you know, experimenting on the entire kit. So reading is vital. Like, if you're not reading, you're limiting yourself. And you don't want to have a limit on yourself. Bottom line.
Thank you so much.
Hey, when you start your church, bro?
You said start my shop.
Start your church.
My church? Oh, man. When the Lord says it's time.
Can you have another question? While you going to the drums, Ron, can you come up now too? Go ahead. One more question. For Nick, go ahead.
All right, bro. Is there
NickSmithGlobal? That's the website. Y'all check it out.
any books or videos?
Hold on, y'all, 1 second. Nick, he's asking a question.
What's up, Jay? I heard you too. You asked about books, right?
Yeah, any books or videos that you're working on or that you would recommend to younger drummers coming up?
Your life is far more important than your craft. This Dave Ramsey book I'm working on. This University of Success I'm working on. And this book my publisher gave me, the Billboard Guide to Writing and Producing Songs.
There it is, sir.
I'm working on. Why? Because it is important to know that music is a language. Everything is percussive, but music is a language. So you are supposed to make these drums talk. You're not playing drums, you're playing music. You know what I mean? And what's up? Oh, okay, yeah. So like your life, I would say, is far more important because it reflects your craft. That was one thing my mom told me. I'm sorry for saying so much, but that was the one thing my mom told me even growing up because I didn't understand why she wouldn't let me kick it with certain people. And she was like, I'm not a musician. She was like, but every musician plays just the way they are. Their character resembles how they play their instrument. So you got to understand that you as a person is more important than what you do because it reflects how you do it.
Right.
Thanks, Jay. But yeah, for books, if you got that, Dave Ramsey, I got a bundle from him. It's real good. He breaks it down. This is a guy that had it, lost it, went bankrupt. His name went bankrupt, and he figured out how to get it all back. You know what I mean? University of Success, they took 50 different schools, top philosophy professors, and put each of them has a chapter in here. And then this one right here is just notes to take on when it's time to create something. And understand, you know, once you figure that out, it's much easier to play that. And anything else you want to put your mind to.
I've heard this guy play, but I've never really heard him talk like this. So for him to, and please, Nick, I know how you feel about this, but for all these guys to be this age and to have the wisdom that they have already, I wish I had that wisdom when I was their age. Not that far from y'all, but I'm saying. So I'm very happy, and you could just tell they got level heads on their shoulders, and I'm just very happy for them. Let's do this real quick. Let's give a loud applause for Nick Smith. Now let's give Nick and Ron a very We only have 30 minutes, we gotta use 15. So for the next 15 minutes, I'm gonna let them go. I have to time them up, but I'm gonna let them go.